Hello, my minions. This is Mass Crusader again, and this is episode 3 of how to program a Bukkit plugin. This first part of the video is going to talk about how to set up a base plugin. It's the starting point for any plugin you're going to want to build. I'm going to go through this pretty quick, but feel free to pause the video at any time to catch up. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is create a new project in IDEA. And in the new project, you're going to want to choose Java module. It may not be at the top, it may be down the list, but it's just a Java module, and give it a name. We're going to call this one Fight the Infection. I would recommend not putting spaces in the project name anywhere. It's just a good convention to not have spaces in your file names, so we'll talk about that later. Choose the location. I'm not going to leave it here, but we'll just leave it in the default location. I'll move it later. You don't need to trouble yourself with that. And Project SDK, this is the software development kit that you're going to be using. You can leave it blank for now because I'll show you how to add an SDK in just a minute. But this is it. This is all you want. Choose Next. It'll say, do you really want to create it without an SDK? Sure, that's fine. We don't want to check anything in desired technologies. We want to leave that completely blank because we're going to modify that ourselves. So we'll click Finish. And this will start our project. So I'll come back when it's all said and done. All right, so after it finishes setting up your base project, you're going to have a screen like this. I always uncheck tips and close, and then you've got your base installation. So the first thing you want to do is install your SDK. If you don't know how to do that, it's simple. Go to this URL. It's also in the description, second link in the description, and download the SDK. We're going to be using Java 1.6 because 1.7 has kind of been classified as do not use. It's got some bugs. So 1.6 is good. 1.8 is coming out later this year. So what you're going to want to do is download that file and extract it to any folder on your computer. And remember where you extracted it to. Once you have the latest JDK installed, right-click on your project, choose this one, Open Module Settings. In the module settings, you're going to want to go to Project, and where it says No SDK, you're going to want to do New, JDK. Sometimes it does that. Just use the arrow keys and hit Enter, and you want to go to where you installed it. So C, Program Files, Java, JDK 1.6. and then click OK. And it'll find that it's a JDK and click Apply. So now with the JDK installed, there's a couple files that you need to create to get your plugin to work. First, underneath your project, there's a source folder that's been created. Inside that source file, the first one we're going to do is we're going to create a file and call it plugin.yml. And inside this plugin file, you've got some settings that you need to set up. First is the name. This one's Fight the Infection. Next one is main. We're going to leave this blank for now. I'll come back to it in just a minute. Version. Version is a free text field. You can put any text you want in there. It could be just a number, so 1.0. You can write alpha 1.0, whatever you want. So we're going to leave it as alpha 1.0. You want description? Is a zombie survival game. That's free text. You can make it as long as you want. Author. This is free text as well. It can be anything you want. I'm going to put my Minecraft handle, so Masked Crusader. And finally, website is available. And in the website, you can put anything you want. So to be announced, because I don't have a website for this yet. Next file that you have to create under source, you want to create a new package. For mine, it can be anything you want. It doesn't have to follow anything. Mine is going to be com.themaskcrusader.fighttheinfection. I'm just going to do FTI and then hit enter. And that creates a package under the source file where you're going to put your main class. And we're going to create one class under there, and we're going to call it plugin. All right. Now, before we get going, you need to go to this URL and download the Bukkit API and the Bukkit craft bucket jars, and put them into a file on your computer, and I will show you how to add them to the project in just a minute. So with the jars downloaded, you want to go back into the module settings. You want to create a library. We're going to call this one, golly Ned, arrows, enter. We're going to go to the place where you downloaded them. I put them on my J drive in projects under TMC project ideas, library, and I'm going to use my snapshot. And in this snapshot directory, we're going to just call it snapshot. But in this directory, I've got both the API and the craft bucket jars. That's all you need to do. Create a snapshot, click apply, and OK. So now with those added, in your plugin, you want this to extend. Extends Java plugin, and it'll automatically do the import. And then there's two methods you need in here. Public void on enable and public void on disable. All right, finally, to finish this up, remember we talked about main in plugin. This is the path to your plugin, this plugin file we just created. So you're going to want to put your package com.themaskcrusader.fti.plugin. So that is the beginning of every plugin. This plugin class being the root where the plugin starts. And next episode, we will go over how to grow your plugin from the root. We're going to add some branches, proverbial branches, not code branches. We're going to add some functionality and features, and we'll talk about what goes into a plugin. So this is Mask Crusader signing off. I know this has been a short episode, but next time we'll do at least 15 minutes and maybe a little bit longer to talk about events, listeners, and handlers. Okay? So cheers. Thanks for watching.